The Crooked Anchor and the final battle of Bodmin, sort of. The morning mist rolled in like a sluggish pudding across the fields, heavy and suspicious. At the Crooked Anchor, things were strangely quiet for such an allegedly historic day. Pete, having declared himself the Beast of Bodmin the night before, now sat in his usual seat with all the mystique of a broken clock. When pressed about his ominous comment, he simply shrugged, muttered something about gastrointestinal metaphors, and went back to staring at the wall. David, meanwhile, was gearing up like he was about to lead the charge at Helm's Deep. He had 3 thermoses of tea, a compass he didn't know how to use, and a baguette for some reason. Warren was strapping kitchen colanders to his arms. Clifford was carrying a meat thermometer and shouting, "The wild waits for no man." Brian had brought a walking stick and a hip flask filled with something clear and deeply suspect. Even Gunther, the overly enormous Great Dane, was dressed in what appeared to be a raincoat made from bin bags and pride. They gathered out front as the battered Land Rover of General Macready screeched into view, covered in more camouflage netting than it could reasonably justify. "Get in, soldiers!" the general shouted. "The beast awaits." No one pointed out the picnic hamper in the back, or the fact that the vehicle was making a sound like an asthmatic duck every time it turned. Dartmoor, noon. The moor stretched out like the belly of a sleeping god. Rolling mists, twisted trees, uneven rocks, and silence so thick you could spread it on toast. The gang stood in a vaguely heroic huddle, peering into the fog. "We split into units," barked Macready. "Team Alpha, Clifford and Warren. Team Bravo, Brian and Dog. Team Civilian, David. And I'll take point. Pete, do what you do." Pete remained perfectly still and silently pulled a sandwich from his coat pocket. They ventured out, slow and deliberate, as though each step might awaken something ancient. It was 27 minutes later, in the full throes of tension, when they heard it. A rustle, a low grunt, a terrible bleat. From the fog emerged a lone sheep. It stood atop a small rise like some woolen demigod. Its eyes glowed with... Actually, no, they were just sheep eyes, slightly wet, possibly confused, but in the moment, terrifying. "That's it!" Macready roared. "The beast! Look at its stance!" The sheep blinked. Gunther barked. The sheep fainted. It was anticlimactic. Warren scratched his head. "That was it?" Clifford poked the sheep gently with a spatula. "Technically, it's tender." Pete strolled up, took one look, and said, "Not me." The general collapsed to his knees, shouting at the heavens. "This isn't over! The beast hides within us all." Then he tried to wrestle a patch of heather into submission. Later, back at the pub, they returned victorious, or at least uninjured, which was basically the same thing at the Crooked Anchor. David made everyone a round of lukewarm tea. Gunther passed out under Brian's stool, and Pete resumed his position, pint in hand, unbothered by the day's events. Raymond popped up from the floorboards. "Did you bring anything back? I need a new pillow." "No," said David, "just closure." Warren made toast. Clifford started sketching a recipe for U-turn pie. Brian raised his flask and toasted the empty fireplace. To great battles and better endings. And just like that, the pub returned to its natural state, somewhere between complete nonsense and quiet bliss. Just another day at the Crooked Anchor, where legends go to retire and the truly mythical thing is a peaceful pint.